Here it is. It's the second week of Movember, the entire month that we are devoting to male issues. And today we're chirping about the male adventures of online dating.
Yeah, well, this ought to be fun.
Yeah, and this is Chick to Chick. Okay, so fair is fair. A while ago, I think it was in the beginning of the year, we chirped about the adventures of online dating, and we had a woman on the podcast, and she talked about all of the things that she went through and all of the red flags and the harrowing experiences that she had. So we heard from men who said, hey, what about us? And the stuff that we go through.
Yeah, so then we thought, we kind of want to know, because I'm sure that there are a lot of tales and a lot of women who might have done the same thing as the men have done. Maybe not being full disclosure on everything, maybe not the right picture from maybe 20 years ago. Ooh, who knows?
Maybe that Photoshop thing. All right. So we wanted to hear from the men to get the male perspective of the adventures of online dating, which brings us
the perfect guest for this.
To our guest today. My good friend, Ken Ullman, who I'm going to say is a little bit of an expert in online dating. Really? Yeah, maybe even a professional. How are you, Ken?
I'm great, ladies. How are you?
Good. Okay, so let's get right to it. How long have you been an online dater? How many different platforms have you tried?
Well, I've been online dating since, I would say, early 2000s. I think Match.com was the first one that came out, that came around that was fairly robust and offered a lot of features that made it, attractive to someone to date. I've tried just about all of them. There's, Match, Bumble, Tinder, new one called Hinge, another one called Zeus. I haven't been on SugarDaddy.com.
That is so comforting to hear.
But I guess maybe that's a possibility in a few more years. So it's true. It's true. You're right. Men have issues. I have some, I'm sure. But that's why I created this Ken's Top 10 of online dating. I think it's important for women to understand what us guys go through when we're out there and we're trying to look for someone. And first of all, if you ask me, the acronym for online dating is what? Old.
Oh.
OLD.
Oh,
yeah. What does that tell you?
Yeah.
So honestly, here's the thing. So going through my list, right? Women, and I have to say this, I don't know if guys do it because I don't go on and look at guys. I don't care what the competition is. And I don't have any flannel shirts, so I really don't have to worry. But women
you might not need a shirt in some of them, I feel like. Anyway.
That's true.
Wait a minute. Have you taken any of those bathroom poses and used that as your profile?
Like
pic?
in the mirror?
You use your phone and...
No, I don't do those.
You don't do that? Okay.
I don't do bathroom poses.
Yeah. All right, go over your top 10 list.
And I don't hold fish in my hand either. I don't think it's a great way to attract a woman, Anyway, so women use filters, right? Now, I've noticed this because the first picture is always really awesome and they look absolutely flawless and it makes you click immediately, right? But then you get to the second picture and it's one that their friend took. And then the third picture and the fourth picture you start to get to, it's kind of like, You know how when they say at a bar you drink a beer and they get better? Well, this is kind of like the other direction. They got two things in the pictures and it gets a little worse. So the rule is always look through the pictures because the first picture is always going to be really awesome. Now the third one, because the first one was the acronym thing. The third one is anybody with one picture of a face, that's it. Forget it. I'm not even going to bother because they're hiding something.
Why?
Well, because they're not revealing anything else about themselves or what they do, right?
You know what? Maybe they don't want it to be a physical thing and they want you to like their personality. So why show the whole right?
But in this day and age, well, maybe. But in this day and age, with all the technology there is to take pictures and selfies, and as many people that are out there taking pictures and posting pictures, you got to have at least one more you could put on the site. One picture of a face is not going to do it for me. It usually means there's something going on. They may have a third arm or something coming on. on their sides. I don't know. So
I have a halo.
Jeez, I love this.
and that leads me to number 4. Does anybody with just headshots? So let's say you go through like 5 pictures, and all it is their face, and delete. That goes right out too. Because I, like, for instance, I have pictures on my profile of me standing there. I have one picture of myself sitting there, I have one playing guitar, but you see the whole me. Mm-hmm. I always think if somebody's not willing to show the whole me, there's something else going on. Especially when it then says they have they have a slim and slender build. It's like, okay, well then why don't you have a whole picture? Anyway, so that's another rule.
Okay.
The other thing is, the next rule is in the profiles. Don't write novel, okay? I don't want to sit there and read, 400 pages, like War and Peace, about your life. I really don't care. I really don't care. I'm a guy. I look at you. I'm attracted to you. That's all I need. I hate, send, like, whatever. But no, here's the thing. It's because I don't want to know that much about somebody. When I meet them, I want to discover that myself.
Oh, I love that. That is cool, Ken. I like what you just said there. You kind of want to get to know them and not have these preconceived notions. I love that.
Yep.
Exactly. And to your point, Carrie, the more you read, the more preconceived notion of, you have, because then the other thing is they put pictures that, really, when they put pictures with it, they write a novel like this and they put pictures, one, they're like skydiving, the other one, they're climbing Mount Everest, another one, they're meeting with a president, you're like, okay, this, something's not right here. These are Photoshop. Like, nobody does that much stuff in their life. But don't write a novel, because I want to discover you. All I want to know is that you're a nice person, you're looking for a relationship, and it would be fun to get out and get together. That's the next one. Then the other one is, don't list all these requirements in your thing. In your profile, looking for a man who loves moonlit walks on the beach and likes to go out for dinner and loves to travel to exotic places and always takes care of himself and, likes to shop. And it's like, what? If you find somebody like that, they're going to be boring, because you're already going to know everything. It's going to be like the perfect person. And then you're going to have 2 perfect people. And besides, here's the other thing, right? If I see a good looking girl, well, if I see a really attractive woman online, even if I hated moonlit walks on the beach, I would still say yeah.
Right.
Because she's attractive, she's hot.
Right.
So it's like, I guess I'll have to put up with a few moonlit walks on the beach now and then. But the other thing is, this is a good point you guys asked me about. The first thing was like how many sites, right? Don't buy into the other sites, because what I found is you go on the other sites for the same reason that other people go on the other sites, because they think, well, maybe I'll try Hinge or Bumble, because there'll be different people on that one, and then you go in there and it's the same people.
It's the same people all over the place.
I see exact same people. Yeah, same people. So everybody does the same thing. They go from one site to another. And, then the other thing that drives me nuts is when people actually swipe right or like you or start up a conversation, and then they just disappear. They start like having these conversations about hey, how are you? What's your life about? Talk a little bit about each other. And then it happens. I say, so you're on a dating site. I'm on a dating site. Perhaps we should go on a date. And it's like crickets.
They ghost you.
And you're like, okay, I get it. Yeah, they ghost you basically. But here's the thing. Most of these that I'm talking about are ones that initialize communication with me. So if you're not interested and you're not going to want to go on a date, why bother? Just just leave me alone. But then the other thing is
leave the boy alone. Just leave him alone. Don't break his heart.
Yeah. I know. Yeah, exactly. No, then the other one is that people say they want a long-term relationship, which of course, as you guys know, it requires time and some dedication and some compromise, right? So I get on a site, and I just the other day, this woman in Fort Myers, and she's like, oh yeah, I really want a long-term relationship. And I was like, okay, well, say, me too. How about we go out this Friday or something, or Saturday, just grab some lunch or whatever. Oh, I'm going to Boston for 3 weeks.
Check in another month.
Okay. Yeah, exactly. And then, so you know what I did? I put on my calendar 3 weeks from today, and that day I went on a messenger. I said, so are you back? Would you like to go out this Saturday? Oh, I have friends coming into town, and they're going to be here for like a whole week. I'm like, so you can't spare a half an hour away from your friends? Like they're glued to your hip? Is that what you're telling me? And, so don't go on there and tell people that you want a relationship if you really don't have time, or you're not interested. Just if you're not interested in a long-term relationship, you just want to date, just say, hey, I just want to date. Just want to go out once in a while and have some fun. That doesn't necessarily translate to some hookup thing. It just means that you're maybe not ready for a long-term relationship. But a lot of people put that on there because then they figure they attract the good guys, and then the guy. But then again, you ask them out, and they don't go out anyway. So it's just I spend more of my time emailing than I do anything else, and then saying let's go out, and they're like, no, I can't. My dog's sick. I have to change the tire on my Volkswagen bus.
I think they're trying to tell you something, buddy.
Yeah.
I think they're trying to tell you something.
Right.
Are you picking it up? They don't have time.
Well,
But to what he's saying, it's like if that is how you feel, then again, just tell me. It's not a big deal.
Just say, hey, I'm not interested.
We're grown-ups. We're OLD.
Right.
We can handle it.
I can't imagine. This girl, I was talking to her for 2 weeks online. I'm like, what's the problem? You don't want to go out. I mean, she's 27, but what the heck? I'm just kidding. She was not 27.
And you're how old?
Not 27.
Should we flip the 27 and you're 70? No, buddy.
No, I'm not 70 yet. So, and then the last thing and I'll tell you, there is one serious thing, but the last thing is, don't lie about your age, because a lot of people do that. And I had that experience with a woman who now I have to admit, she looked younger, but she lied 10 years about her age.
Yeah.
So when I met her, I thought she was 58. She was actually 68. I think Flora knows who I'm talking about.
I know exactly who you're talking about. And didn't I warn you about that? Didn't I say?
Yeah, you did. And
yeah, I did.
She just turned out to be totally wacko. It was just crazy. But anyway, don't lie about your age. That's important, But I mean, to me, the ultimate tip is just, just be yourself. Just say, I like this, I don't like that. I'm interested in meeting somebody. I'd like to get out there, and then be available and go out. Don't say you're available or you want a relationship and then don't, take one. So I will say, I met several of my best friends, 2 of my wives on Match. So, so it hasn't been that bad.
Yeah. That's a winning right there.
So what I'm hearing from you then is the big red flags from a guy's perspective is the whole photo issue. Don't reveal too much, and certainly don't lie, which I don't understand. Why are you going to build a relationship when you start lying anyways? What is the worst thing that happened when you went on a date and you connected with somebody online? What's the worst date that you had?
The worst thing, honestly, is when they don't look like their pictures and they don't lie. They just basically, it's a lie in a sense, right? Like I've been out with a couple where their pictures were nice enough that you couldn't really tell they were old. Now some people put like grainy pictures up, and I'm thinking, okay, in today's world of technology, if you can't take a clear picture, then that's a picture of a Polaroid you're holding in your hand. It's like, so the guy knows what year that's from. But it's like, don't lie about your pictures, because somebody's going to find out. And then the first thing that happens is you sit down and you're like, oh my God, they look nothing like their pictures. Yeah. Or don't put pictures 20 years ago when you weighed, 60 pounds less than you do now. Mm-hmm. I don't. I put pictures of me that are a month old, because I figure if they're going to still want to see me at that point, then at least I know that they're okay with what I look like. But don't put pictures up there that are 10, 20 years old. And some, like I said, are hard to tell. Others are pretty easy to tell they're old, but some are harder. And all of a sudden they show up and they don't look anything like their picture. And I had that happen several times to me. And it just turns you off. Basically, I'm a gentleman, so I would still have a drink, have a conversation, but I'm not going to go back out with a person that's going to do that.
Yeah, that's good advice.
So
and I feel like that goes, for both ways for both of us. Ken, you're a blast. I love how authentic you were in all of this, and I especially appreciated the top 10. I think you helped a lot of folks out there, and if nothing else, you made us laugh pretty hard. You did. So you're the best. Thank you so much for ingratiating the chicks and coming on and sharing the tales of online dating. A la Ken Ullman. A la Ken Ullman and the male perspective. Thanks,
always
buddy.
Always a pleasure, ladies.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
You too. Right. Oh, my God. I mean, he's a hoot, and he does absolutely express a lot of things that women also talk about too. Why do you want to disguise what you really look like and your age and everything? Because you can't get mad at somebody when you go on a date and then they look at you a little weird. You can't get mad and say, oh, they thought I was too old, if you didn't present yourself the way you really are.
Well, how can you really start a relationship when
Yeah.
it's built on lies to begin with?
Truth.
But I'm glad we put that out there. I'm glad that we exposed the male adventures of online dating, because you know what, ladies, guys are struggling too out there, and we have to be real. We have to be authentic. And he provided a lot of great laughs for us today.
He did. And we hope that you really appreciated today's podcast. We hope you'll come back when we have another topic to chirp about.